O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link, be the maestro of your own home.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty, good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome aboard. We are, of course, here. It's Tuesday. We're at Hialeah Park, as always, enjoying ourselves, having a good time. The one and only Sean Stanley is mastering the program. We got stuff to talk about, always here on the show. Yes, sir. And by the way, we'll be out here for a couple hours, so you can come on out here, say hi. All right, met one of our listeners already, so come on by. If you can, we'd appreciate it. As always, don't forget to smash the like button whenever you're watching. Always appreciate that. Here on a Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Sadly, it is day number 19,073 since our Miami Dolphins were world champions. And it's day number 8,856 since the Canes were national champions. That is the deal. The Dow is down 164 points today, which, considering, it's a good day. The S&P is down 21. The NASDAQ is down 1. Bitcoin is at almost 69, at 67,750. Right now. It actually dipped a little bit to like 60 in the 67.8, 67.9 range. So now it's gone back up about 1,000 after dropping about 1,500. So there you go. That's what's been going on. Again, kind of shocked with everything else going on. Congratulations, as we told you, UConn. Although we won. I won by half a point. I got the hook. I did get the hook. So, as we talked about it yesterday, I told you, you got to go out. So it was money line. Okay. Money line. If you went against me, you want some money, bro. Okay. And I warned you ahead of time. Hey, this is what's gone on. I don't know, Jack. So here it goes. And I took UConn in the point, so I got lucky. Made back my money and a little bit more. So I'm good. I can't complain. I got lucky.
It had nothing to do with skill. Now, but can I tell you what I learned also in watching all of this? Jay Lucas is the shit. Jay Lucas is the shit. Watching the national championship game and watching the semifinals and the finals, you guys know I'm brutally honest. I don't watch a lot of college basketball anymore. It doesn't really do much for me. It just doesn't. I lived the 80s and the 90s, bro. You're not going to compare this. So I'm sorry, it ruined it for me. I can't do it. It's like a bait and switch. I cannot do anything about it. Cannot. But Jay Lucas is the shit. UConn. What was UConn's team, Sean? Big. What did Jay Lucas talk about that he recruited right away? Big, long. Remember we had Michelle Kaufman on and she talked about it and all that. And they weren't great. Was UConn a great three-point shooting team? No. Were they like a great overall shoot? No, that's not where they were. They were jump shots, setting each other up inside the paint, all that kind of stuff. A lot of what UM did. Now, UConn's an established program. It's been around forever. Hurley, the Maniac, is a great coach and all that kind of stuff. So he was able to get a higher class player. But Jay Lucas, in his few months here, rebuilt the entire program and kicked ass in the ACC because he had some of the same philosophies. And then he coached his ass off. And Jay Lucas ended up with one amazing year. And if it's something that I have a correlation with, and I always like doing this, I always like using any kind of national story or whatever and try to bring it to a local perspective, because that's what you tune in for, right? That's you're a South Florida sports fan in general. Of course, I talk about everything and life and money and politics and whatever, music and all kinds of shit. But there's always that South Florida perspective. And it makes you, like, when I saw that, I go, okay, well, dude, Michigan's a better team. That's fine. And UConn surprised some people. Most people didn't have them there. People that actually know this shit. Not me. I'm an idiot. But the people that know didn't really expect them to be there. And they got there with grit, man. They got there with toughness. And you think about Jay Lucas and how quickly can I make an impact? And wow, he made one hell of an impact. Kids and their handlers or parents or whatever, or kids in other schools are going to see this and they're going to want to be a part of this. And if Miami does have the money, NIL-wise, backing it up, that's what I came out of that game last night. When I came out of that game, I go, Jay Lucas is the shit, dude. Jay Lucas is the shit. Because I saw what he did. You saw what he did. We all are super impressed with Jay Lucas. He had an outstanding season. But his philosophy is kind of the same of the team that was in the national title game. And to me, that tells me a lot about the coach, the X's and O's, the vision, the recruiting ability of that guy in just a couple of months. You know what I mean? Now's when he's been there for a year, but he turned around the entire program in a couple of months. And his philosophical approach was so much like what UConn was trying to do. I'm sorry. It's what UConn did, and it's what they were trying to do. And they were successful, very successful. So to me, that's kind of the way I came out of that game, because in the end, I really don't give a crap about either one of those programs. But I look at it a little deeper and look at it philosophically. And since I don't really follow the game, I see the ways that they have built and attacked, this game and the way the game is played with NIL and turnover and all that kind of stuff. Just impressive, man. Impressive stuff. Congratulations to Michigan, 69-63. Mad Dog, I'm sure you're celebrating up there my brother. So good for them and good for the Miami Hurricanes, because if you somehow weren't convinced Jay Lucas is the guy, just go look at what UConn did, and you could tell that that guy had the right mindset. No doubt. Good shit, man. Good shit. Tonight, Florida will take on Montreal. So we got a little Okie action. And we've got to get the cigars out, Sean. Because last night, the week before in their 1-1 draw, they had a pretty productive outing. But the Fort Lauderdale United last night against DC got it done, dude, 3-1. That was actually pretty damn cool to get it done. Catherine Gonzalez, she had an assist. I don't know if you saw it. It was a set piece that they had from the corner, and then Locklear knocked it in, which was cool. Kate Colvin had another one too. The through pass was just absolutely amazing. And then Abera had the third goal. So that was absolutely awesome. They take on Jacksonville on Saturday at 4:00. You can watch it on Peacock too. Yes, sir. And Channel 10. Yeah. Your mic's not working there? Maybe disconnect and connect the back or something. I don't know. Okay. So good shit, man. No? All right. We'll give them a victory cigar at least. So, and then we'll get your mic back working there. Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, Cash App dropped free Bitcoin yesterday. They did. They sent a happy Bitcoin day. They sent a couple pennies. I don't know how much they sent. They didn't send a ton, but if you were on Cash App, you got like a little free Bitcoin yesterday. So that was actually really, really cool. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. The amazing Ho Yoon, as always. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Have a fantastic day, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, as always, for your amazing support. It means a lot, man. Definitely means a lot. Appreciate you. And he always just puts, have a nice day. That's it. He just keeps it nice and simple. He's amazing. All right. We will meet again, my friend. We will meet again. Let's see. What else do we have going on? I'd like to say something a little bit off the beaten path. Being on this planet now 6 decades, I've been around a little bit and experienced some shit. And when I was young, back in the 80s, I went to Cuba like 4 times. And went to go see some of my relatives and all that kind of stuff, which, by the way, they were able to then come to America after and live here for a few years before they passed away. So my dad at least was able to get his parents here. But long story short on that end, when I would go there and I was a teenager, young, I had a lot of fun. Okay, if you know what I mean. I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of nice young ladies out there when I was there, and people, not just family members, just people. And back in those days, they would tell you, like, I would talk to a girl and she would say, "Oh, I'm studying. I'm going to finish to be a doctor, and I should do really well. I'll be making $400 a month," which in those days actually was pretty good money for them, but not a doctor. But it's kind of the way you're programmed. You don't know any better. Because when you have a tyranny, when you have a society that is running you against the will of the people, they kind of keep you down. They do as much as they can. You know what I mean? And so you're kind of helpless, right? And one of the things that has lasted in that place forever is the evil that's in the government. And that's the reason why the Cuban people don't actually, they don't represent the government. The government is evil. You got to change the government. You got to gut the regime, the real regime, before you can make any real change. You know, in Venezuela, they took out Maduro, but they left all the sewage there. All the evil people are still in place. You didn't gut the evil. And the Venezuelan people don't represent the Venezuelan government. The North Korean people don't represent Kim Jong-un, bro. They're just under his power. Can't do anything. So I turned my attention to Iran, where obviously they've got evil there. But if you don't gut the regime and take the uranium, you're doing nothing. You're only continuing to kick rocks and delay the process and all that. In the process, you might be making them even stronger now, because now they're going to want to control the Strait of Hormuz, which will be another financial benefit for them. So you got to walk the fine line of, if you really want to change, which you didn't make the changes the last time, you know, in other wars, you're not going to do it here unless you really change the regime. It's the only way you do things. And you can't start a war and then say it was to free the Iranian people, and then last night you say it's to obliterate the entire country, because the entire country is not dirty. There's a lot of innocent, millions of people that are innocent there, that are stuck in the middle of all this crap. Us, the United States, we've got to rise above all that and do it the right way, not the animalistic, not the crazy way. So we have to compartmentalize, that word that we love to use here. You know what I mean? The Haitian people are suffering, but it's being run by dirty governments and gangs, not the Haitian people, dude. You know what I mean? The Yemen people are suffering. It's the Houthis that make it dirty there. So you got to eliminate the Houthis, not the Yemen people. You know what I'm saying? So humanity has to take over here at one point or another, because if it doesn't, we're all completely lost. We have to be able to determine the difference between what's bad and what's good. And if we're going to eliminate what's bad, we have to directly eliminate what's bad, not go and brush it all with what's good too at the same time. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's just something that I'm not sure people take the time to understand, you know. And if you've never dealt with anybody or been behind the lines of a country that has people that are, you know, suppressed, you know, it's different. It's different. Their thinking is completely different. They don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? And some of them end up being programmed, but it's not their fault. So unless you really gut the evil of anything that is going on, and in this case, you have to gut the evil of the IRGC, and you must take all the uranium. If not, then you haven't accomplished anything. No matter all the damage that you can do and set them back and hurt innocent people and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't do any good, dude. Israel's killed over 200 media members. It's not doesn't get you anywhere. It's not the way you do things, you know. So said my piece. I'm done. Anyway, all right. Time to rock and roll. All right. Oh man. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? I saw where Shams Charania is writing more about the Giannis Antetokounmpo mess, because it is a mess in Milwaukee. He is, I mean, it's kind of like an automatic that he's gone. Okay. It's pretty much an automatic that he's gone. So the question is, will the Heat, and you can look at it, says inside the Bucks lost season and the looming nasty breakup with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so obviously I saw it in the headlines this morning and read it. And I have to read it because I know that we're going to go down this path with the Miami Heat. And you know where I stand. I don't agree with this. But unfortunately, we have an organization that is stuck in the past. And these are the things that they want to do. I think they'll fail and they won't get Giannis unless Giannis says, I only want to be traded to Miami, and then they have to come up with some kind of a trade. But again, by the time they give up what Milwaukee will want, is Giannis really going to have what he needs around him? And can Giannis even stay healthy? And you're getting an old Giannis, a Giannis with a ton of mileage on him, and his game has not expanded. I'll keep saying it. I'll stay on record. I don't understand any of this. Okay? I really don't understand where the Heat are going and what direction and what it means at all in any way, shape, or form, to be quite honest, because they're not gaining any ground. They're just kind of staying in the same place because they don't have any stars. And you could tell me all you want about Bam, but he's not a star. If he was a star, you'd be higher in the standings on a consistent basis because he could impose his offensive will night in and night out. It's not who he is. You know, a real star is like Jokic, that he imposes his offensive will, and he's so good, he'll get others involved too at the same time. That's a star. He's not that guy. He can't do that. Well, he's not wired that way to do it. He does have athletically the ability to do it. That I'm not ever going to deny from Bam. But I know that this is going to be one of our talking points in the offseason. And it's almost like, are we doing something because it's the only thing to do? Because you have no other options? So that's kind of the way I look at it. Are you for that trade? You're not for it either. Wow. Okay. So I'm sure there's some of you out there that are for the trade. I just don't think you're going to get anywhere. You're going to tie yourself down a lot of money, and the bad years are coming. Yes, sir.
No, I agree 100% with that. And then also, like you said before, you trade all the pieces to get Giannis. It's Milwaukee South. That's all. He's just coming to another team that's going to look the same as what he left. And then what? We're going to get the Jimmy Butler thing all over again with an older player.
Yeah. But again, are we stuck with a bunch of guys that are unwilling to change, dude? They're unwilling to change. We talked to Ira yesterday, and I'm sure we'll discuss some of that next week because the Giannis thing will be something that we'll all discuss. But you're gonna end up doing a trade just to do a trade because you have to shake things up. And this is the only way you can somehow get a star. Because really, they have no other ability to get a star. And I still don't believe that their package that they will offer will be even close to some of the other ones that are going to be out there. Because somebody's going to offer a better young player. Miami has a whole bunch of question marks, you know, and I'm sure they're going to ask for Bilal Larson. I'm positive of that.
And first-round picks, which means you're never going to be able to build until you get those picks back.
Right, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Again, we're just going to make it a longer and longer instead of
right
ripping the Band-Aid and doing it now. We're just extending the inevitable.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing, man. So I know this Giannis story, and I don't know how you guys feel out there. You can express yourselves on the chat board. Send me a text, a tweet, a DM, or whatever, like some of you do later on after you're listening or watching the show and all that. But it's just crazy, dude. It really is insane. It really is insane. By the way, we are here at Hialeah Park. We're at the second floor poker room. We got all the gaming action going on. Of course, we got the poker tables, captain's chairs, smoke-free. We do have tables outside in the patio downstairs where you can smoke and enjoy yourself. We got those smoking hot slots outside on the front side, where on the back side where they've got a whole bunch of fans and everything. So it's really cool. You can bring your vape, your cigar, your cigarette, whatever it is that you guys smoke. And then downstairs in the casino, loose slots, baby, some table games too, and food, Vicky Bakery, bars, restaurants, so all kinds of stuff. So come on out to Hialeah Park. They've always got entertainment. They just had Black Coffee last weekend. The place was absolutely had 8,000 people here for that. I learned about Black Coffee after they booked him. I got to be honest. I didn't know anything about him as a DJ. I didn't know how big he was. When he was telling me that all these people are going to show up, I was like, really? And bro, they showed up. And so that's good for them. I'm glad that they're figuring out some kind of entertainment to add also to the facility. And there's some other stuff coming that I cannot talk about, but it is going to grow. It is going to grow. It is going to. All I can tell you is this may not be the only place we broadcast from now in this facility in the future. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Let me check out the chat board. I see NorCal is in on a Taco Tuesday. TJ Superman, hello to you, sir. Jay Bird, he enjoyed that win last night. Yeah, baby, smash that like button. Jamie Zoria in San Jose. Think Blue Dodgers in Southern Cal. A bail on the whale. I agree on that one. Kosa in. Big Johnson, afternoon to you. Thing Blue, it would be great to meet you in San Bernardino, says NorCal. There you go. Kosa. What else? Lenny Pena, good afternoon, sir. Ted and Jersey. Oscar Rojas. Jeff in Long Island. A lot of the pillars of stability here on the program. Thank you all out there. Brian Landis, Stoney Stanley, Anthony Kyle Campos. Thank you out there. Appreciate it. Relentless. Thank you. Appreciate you all out there as always. Hit that like button. Smash the like button whenever you're watching, day or night, weekends, holidays, whenever it is. Don't forget to smash the like button out there. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. You can reach out to our friend Alan Blanco if you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. You can do all of that through Zoom, and he'll have it shipped to you right away. So give him a ring, 786-618-1443. Michigan, as the late, great Mad Dog would say, beat number 2 UConn 69-63 to win the NCAA championship. Elliot Cadeau with 19 points and 2 steals. Tonight on the ice, it is the Panthers visiting the Montreal Canadiens. That'll be at 7 o'clock. The Fort Lauderdale United last night, they got a victory, baby, over the DC Power 3-1. It's a beautiful thing. Goals by Kiara Locklear, also Kate Colvin and Abera, all goals in the game. Saturday against Jacksonville at 4 o'clock at Beyond Bankcard Field. Get your tickets at FTLUTD.com. Join us out there on Saturday at 4 o'clock as they take on Jacksonville. Thursday, tomorrow night, 2 nights from now. That's right, it's Tuesday. Thursday, the Heat are back in action. They will take on the Raptors at 7:30. They're headed for that play-in, baby. It is what it is. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Yes.
What I was going to say when the mic wasn't working earlier, when you were talking Fort Lauderdale United, that win helped Jacksonville clinch the number 1.
Oh, okay.
See, I was talking to Isabel before.
Okay.
And they clinched with a loss with the Power, a loss or a tie. Then Jacksonville would have clinched yesterday. So
okay.
Looks like they have clinched.
So they played a little spoiler.
Yes.
Okay. It was just, I was just happy to see the ladies play a really good game. That's what I was happy for. They needed it badly, man. Things weren't going well for a while there. And so, they kind of needed that. Orlando, you're the GM of the Dolphins. Do you extend Achane? Sure, I extend them unless I can get a great deal for him. If somebody wants to give me something sweet and they want to give me, a pick I'm not expecting or a couple picks for Achane because they feel that they're an Achane away, then yeah, I'm doing it, dude. I'm rebuilding. Although it's not really a rebuild, as we talked about. It looks like it's only a 1-year hiatus, and then they are looking to make an impact in free agency.
I feel like John Eric Sullivan is saying, show me the money.
That's it. What I couldn't do in Green Bay, I can do now. I could go to the strip club. In fact, there are no strip clubs in Green Bay. That's why you can't make it rain for the Packers. But here in Miami, we got strip clubs everywhere. And John Eric Sullivan, baby, he's got a roll of ones. He's ready to go. He's going to the club, and he's going to make it rain. Okay? John Eric Sullivan knows now what it's like to have bankroll, to have a sugar daddy. You don't have a sugar daddy in Green Bay. No, dude, there's no sugar daddy in Green Bay. You got a stingy uncle in Green Bay. That's what you got. Stingy grandfather. Cheap ass dude. The dude that your birthday's like November 29th, and he says, well, so close to Christmas, here's a present for both. That cheap ass grandfather, that's what you got in Green Bay. Now here, you got an old man that'll make it rain anywhere. In the club, at an F1 race, doesn't matter. You could be at a Red Wings game. He'll make it rain. So things are changing. Do we have the Furones man yet? Okay. I know. Okay. Let me see. There he is. All right, folks. The one and only David Furones is ready to go with our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good. Back at team facilities as the Dolphins held the press conference with Jeff Hafley, first day of offseason workout. So getting back out here after I'd been here for the intro press conference to Sullivan and Hafley, and then also the Malik Willis introductory press conference. So not a lot of being around, actually, boots on the ground in the offseason, but now another opportunity here.
Yeah, no doubt about that, dude. And we look at he talked a little bit about how practice is going to go or off-season workouts. Can you describe a little bit about his description of how he handles off-season workouts?
Yeah, at start right now they're entering phase 1 of off-season workouts. So it really, I think today was just kind of like meetings, setting the groundwork, ground rules for how he wants things to go, and then basically they're going to be going out through a workout program. They start earlier because they're one of the teams with a new head coach, so not all the teams are going through all this right now. And then they're going to go through phase 1. There's a second phase. And then finally, phase 3 is OTAs. So you finally get to the voluntary OTAs. You get to mandatory minicamp at that point. He mentioned, there will be some physical practices. There will be some that, aren't as much. He's going to find that balance. And it's really going to be, it's really right now him setting this culture up. I think you're seeing just the start of a new day, new regime for this organization with Hafley leading the football side.
Is this the start of a holdout?
Yeah, for Devon Achane. Well, I would say it's not something to be concerned about right now. It's really just a day one that starts earlier than everyone else's day ones. So it's phase one of offseason workouts. Now, granted, Hafley believes that all the other players are around, so that would kind of make Achane the exclusion as far as the one player who did not show up, and he happens to be going through a contract extension negotiation right now. So that does stand out from that standpoint, but it's still very early, and Sullivan called it a priority last week to get Achane an extension. So I would say it's not something to worry about at this moment. And I believe the Dolphins will be looking to strike that deal probably sometime after the draft, get through the draft, get guys in, and then really get down to that later on. And then if that deal still isn't there.
So it's semi bullshit. It's not it's not complete bullshit, but it's semi bullshit because it's exactly what I was going to follow up on. They'll trade him in a heartbeat. And if they really wanted to sign him and he was a priority, they would have already done it and have him there from the first day to have him as an example and then have him leading and going through all the mental reps and all that kind of shit if he was a real priority. But he's not really a priority yet until after the draft, when at that point you have to sign him to a contract, because if nobody wants him after the draft or you're not going to get a favorable deal, then now it's over. Now you're better off signing him. And if you have to trade him down the line in the trading deadline or somebody gets injured, you deal with that at that point. But it's kind of semi bullshit. If it's really not a priority, if it was a priority, you had all this time to get it done. You could have gotten it done if he was a priority. But this is the part two to all of this. This is exactly what the Dolphins want. Do you know why they want this?
I think I know the road you're going. Let's hear it.
Yeah. If you're looking to trade his ass or you want to keep it as an option, the last thing your ass wants to do is have him out in a mini camp, working out and conditioning and getting injured. And then you're stuck in mud and you can't do anything. And all of a sudden, your plane can't take off from the mud and you're going to have to just blow it up right there. So that's what happens in those kind of situations. So if you don't want your plane stuck in the mud where you're getting it blown up, you got to do something smart. So right now it's, he's holding out. Oh, okay. And, it kind of gets to play the game and it buys them time to get through the draft and then say, okay, the deal is not there. Now we can sign you. How much do you agree with all of that?
Well, I think the workouts that they're doing now, especially what they're doing at this stage, that's stuff that you want your players doing. It's not going to be high impact, really put yourself at risk. You're not doing on-field work. It's really like strengthening. It's conditioning. It's just getting your body right for when you do get onto the field. So
people get injured doing that all the time, dude. All the time. They tear pecs.
But you need that foundation.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, the second you step onto that off-season program, the risks start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you hope that even if he's not here, he's doing that on his own. That's how players, they show up the following season and their body looks different. So, if players look stronger or looks like they lost some weight because they need to get down to a certain weight, whichever way they need to go, that's because of the off-season work that they've done. So you hope, whether it's in the building, whether it's on his own, that a player is doing this on his own. And as far as just the timeline, then, I think it can still be a priority without it getting done yet to this point, because this is just a natural progression that I believe Sully and we've seen it in the past that you take on during the offseason is first, once you get into, because he said this back in the combine, is that it'll come later in the offseason. Right after the combine, you're getting into free agency, and then free agency happens. Now we just had the first wave. It's owners meetings after that. You get through that. You're doing all these 30 visits. You're doing all the scouting at pro days, preparing for the draft. So right now, I think the priority is focusing on the draft, which is coming up in a few weeks. And then once you get that squared away, then you're really going to lock in on those extensions, which it's not just Achane who hasn't had it done, because he also mentioned Jordan Brooks as a core player he wants to get signed to an extension, and Aaron Brewer. So none of those have gotten done to this point. So I do see it as I'll take him for his word that it's still a priority. It's just not the order in which the Dolphins plan on doing their offseason business. Right now, it's a focus on the draft after you just had free agency, preparing, doing all the evaluating, all the pro days, the 30 visits. They got guys coming in and out of the building right now. So, they're not going to the negotiation table right now on HM, but that they will. And then you have a lot of time on the back end of the draft to do that. And you saw, like with Tua, that happened first week of training camp that year.
Yeah, but that's a quarterback deal. That always drags on in a big time way. Yeah. This to me is all strategy, and they don't need him right now in silly mini camp anyway. No. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous right now. They don't need Achane. I don't need to see Jordan Brooks out there on the field. I don't need to see Aaron Brewer for this shit. If they want to stand around and take mental reps and all that kind of stuff, I'm good with that. But I don't need those guys really going on. Some guys just don't need to prove that they're pros, bro. They're gonna be in shape. You don't need to question Aaron Brewer or Jordan Brooks or Devon Achane. You already know the character of those people, so I don't worry about crap like that. But because he's so wanted, and there are people knocking on the door, and then they know that too, right? I mean, you're gonna get the money from somebody. Make sure you take care of yourself while you're at it if you're Devon Achane, you know?
Yeah. No, and I think he knows he's a running back in this league. And it does set a tone early on. Like, all right, no, I'm going to be serious that I want this extension that I'm looking for this offseason. So, and you know what? Today, really, it was a bonus day here. Like, historically, since I've been on the beat, as far as for media coverage, we don't cover the first day of off-season workouts. There's maybe like an OTA later. We have the pre-draft press conferences. So, a lot of other years, we maybe would be wondering if Achane showed up, but it only is a topic today because we had this bonus press conference, and then Jeff Hafley was asked, and he was upfront with saying, yeah, Achane wasn't here, and he believes everyone else was. But
you guys have no access at all, just the press conference, that's it?
It was just a press conference today. Yeah. I mean, because all they're really doing is, I think even today it might have just been meetings. It's kind of like syllabus week when you start a semester in college. It's just, you meet.
So you guys don't start taking roll till we get to mini camp after the draft, is what you're saying.
What's that?
You won't get to roll call till we get to mini camp.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. It wasn't like we had all of them out there with their jersey on. We're looking through the roster and crossing off who's here. And then, so yeah, it was nothing like that. We were dependent on Hafley answering at the podium behind me. So he was up front in giving us the Achane information when he was asked by Joe Shad. And then my colleague, Chris Perkins, asked him if anyone else. And he said he believes so, but he didn't want to he cautioned that it's not like he took 100% attendance to make sure.
So could he be keeping something away from us there by saying that? I didn't take attendance. I don't know completely who was here. It's my team, but I don't know exactly who was completely here or not.
If it happens to be a big name, I don't know if Zach Sealer wasn't here. Not saying he was or wasn't, but and at the end of the day, it's voluntary. It is voluntary right now. But hey, I mean, Jordan Brooks showed up. Aaron Brewer was there. Patrick Paul, Terrell Dotson. We saw all of these show up in Dolphins social media videos of their entrances, like Patrick Paul before the sun even came up. So. A lot of the top guys are coming in here, showing up.
Okay, now let me run something by you. I talked about it yesterday on the show, and I know you saw the interview with Sully, and he talked about this, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, maybe whatever, when he took over, and I talked about how coming from Green Bay, you don't play with a checkbook. you're not a big player in free agency and all that, even though they have the biggest reserves in the NFL, by the way, but they still are never big players in free agency. They'll buy a guy here or there, that's the Green Bay way. Now they really build through the draft. And so I talked about this when Sully took over. He has worked with the cheap grandfather, that your birthday's November 29th. And he says, well, we're only about 4 weeks away from Christmas. Here's your birthday and your Christmas gift at the same time. Now you're working with a sugar daddy where you could go make it rain on every club that there is in town. Okay. So do you have that soundbite? Can you pull it up and the soundbite too? Anyway, you know what soundbite I'm talking about? Because Sully then said, well, we got to overcome this year, but next year and the year after, we're going to make a splash in free agency.
This was which interview? Was it the Kevin Clark one or
some dude that he was sitting side by side? Kevin Clark, yes.
Kevin Clark. Yeah, it was a Kevin Clark. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's going to pull up the soundbite, and if he has it there, we'll replay it. But he basically, in the Green Bay world, as we explained before to you, they always have prepared teams, and then they bring the young quarterback into a prepared team, so it's easy for him, or easier as the transition to happen that way. Here in Dolphin Land, we put young quarterbacks behind bad football teams, like we did with Tannehill, like we did with Tua, and now we are doing it again with Malik Willis, so he's not doing the Green Bay thing. Now, here is Sully with whatever, Clark Kellogg, Kevin Clark. Okay. Clark Barr, go ahead and say it.
Your deal was very important to us. It's going to give us the opportunity to put. Yeah, I mean, part of it, that's why bringing him in on a 3-year deal was very important to us. It's going to give us the opportunity to put multiple draft classes around him in 27 and 28, make some noise in free agency. But it is what it is. When you walk into a situation where you have 30 plus unrestricted free agents, there's a lot of roster management, if you will, going on. Malik knew that when he came through the door. We had our own conversations. I'm very comfortable with Malik and his ability to play with what's around him now after the 11 draft picks, after undrafted free agency, and whatever we choose to do in the summer.
So you're only here for a couple weeks, and he has been absolutely polluted with the Miami way. And here's the other thing that I told the listeners, that when Stephen Ross met with his supposed candidates is, so tell me, how quick can you turn this team around? It wasn't like, hey, what's your plan? No, the question wasn't that way. The question is, so how fast can you turn things around? After all, the guy's 85 years old, so I don't blame him. But now that I've put everything in context for you, how do you think about Hafley now doing all the things the Miami way, not the Green Bay way, because the Green Bay way would be really build through the draft every year and maybe an occasional free agent here or there. Not let's make a splash or a make noise in free agency.
Yeah, for Sullivan and Hafley. So I still think he has the foundation of building through the draft, and he's going to have to for this year. And then I think next year's draft will be very important. But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't blame Stephen Ross either if he was asking that question.
Yeah,
that's the number one question you want to know is how quickly can you get this on the right track, knowing that it was the end of a previous window that made it very difficult to quickly turn it around. But we've seen it in the NFL, like what the Denver Broncos were doing after taking on the dead cap hit of Russell Wilson.
They had a group of young defensive players already in line, bro. They already had a defense in place. So it really reminds me a lot of what happened with the Colts and the Bucs. The Bucs had the defensive-minded coach and they had one of the great defenses, but they were ass backwards on offense. And then the Colts had a great offense, but they had no defense. So all of a sudden, Dungy goes to Indy, gives them the balance. They win the title. Gruden goes to Tampa, gives Tampa the balance, and they win the title. And that's kind of what I saw last year. Denver was already a budding defense. And then you got the guy that could bring in the offense and the quarterback and all that. And I think that to me, it's more. See, I don't like Denver as an example for us because they were more of a perfect storm. We're a tropical depression.
I like that. Yes, I mean you have some pieces in place. You had one that then you traded for more draft capital in Jalen Waddle, which I did like that deal and getting another first rounder. Now you're going to stockpile these picks. This is going to be a huge draft class, and I think if you do see some of the just that there's some potential with this draft class, then quickly you can turn around into next year and be thinking, especially if Malik Willis is showing some signs. Oh, okay, well, Malik Willis did some things without much around him. Let's say if HN is around and he's got that to lean on, and maybe he gets a receiver in this draft. Then yeah, I know. I know how you feel about that one, but
no, he has to get a receiver. Dude, he has to get a receiver.
Oh yeah, that. Well, okay,
you can't trade Waddle. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're going to get him a receiver in the first couple of rounds. They have to, bro.
Definitely,
that's criminal.
That's why you traded Waddle to make sure you at least in those first 3 picks, the 2 in the first and 1 in the second, that you get another top tier young receiver that you can develop, and then you can be players in free agency next year. So you can actually have a free agent class next year that's not just one player like Malik Willis and then everything else. So where historically for the Packers and what Sullivan has been under,
they do.
it would be maybe they make one signing and then it's just develop these draftees, and I think there will be a core foundation of that, but you can mix in a little bit of, all right, our owner's willing to play ball. He's willing he's willing to give us all the resources we need. So he'll have that toy at his disposal as well. So that could be a nice mix for Sullivan, like being used to the Green Bay way, but also having the access to spend a little in free agency when he finds the right deals to be made.
It's so interesting because he's not really doing some of the things the Green Bay way. And I wonder, I never looked, I should have looked into this before. I wonder what the dead cap money is for Green Bay on a yearly basis over the last 10 years compared to the Dolphins. You know what I mean?
Compared to the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's opposite ends right there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're now a Dolphin, so I don't know what it is. I don't know what the dead cap money year in and year out for Green Bay is the last 10 years. That's, but it's interesting to see where he's coming from and where he is now and how habitually some of the things are changing. He's not really doing things the Green Bay way, because the Green Bay way would be stay patient, keep drafting, and when you're close, you then, make a splash in free agency. You're saying that within a year, you're going to think that you're close and you're going to make a splash anyways. That's usually where we get in trouble as the Dolphins, that they're never close and they think they are and they spend like they are when they're not. And that's kind of screwed up.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is he'll have access to that option. And I think he'll take everything that he's learned from his Green Bay days, his Green Bay decades, actually two decades there, to manage it, find that balance and manage it responsibly. So it's just that he'll have that available to him. But I believe him when he says that it's still at the foundation. It's building through the draft. So it's good to come in with a Green Bay mindset, and then the combination of that with possibly the ability to spend. But also what he's doing now, it's because it's so different from anything he's ever seen in Green Bay, and really any franchise, because this is a record dead cap situation. So Green Bay would never get the roster into that big of a hole. The Packers would never dig themselves that deep of a hole to have to get out of this dead cap situation. So it is unique from that sense. And then Sullivan would have to just get it back in a year's time to a little bit something more normal to then be able to build how he wants.
Yeah, we just got to really hope that they hit, bro. We got to really hope that everything goes well, because it's kind of the way they're building for a crescendo of year 2 and 3 being impactful, because that's what they're looking for. If he kind of gave the plan away, basically what they want to do. And the good thing, David, if Malik plays well this year, like I'm talking about, like franchise well, like you look at him and you go, okay, no, this dude's a franchise player, you win. And if this 11 draft picks, a lot of the kids are contributing and playing really well, then that's when you can say, well, maybe the plan can work in year 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's dependent on if the draft picks hit, and then if you see some of that in year 1, you see some flashes of it. I was actually saying last year that was the one thing I felt could still, because I was going in saying hot seat season for Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. They both ended up being out of here. But one thing I was saying, that even if they didn't reach the playoffs, that if you saw last year's draft class show some real signs, then that could be something that saves them. And I think you didn't see enough of that either, whether it be Kenneth Grant being hugely impactful, Jonas Savaianaya as a second-round pick who was traded up for, struggled. So then I think, everyone else, they're day 3 guys. So that was probably also just the nail in the coffin to go with everything else, was even that draft class. It wasn't like, oh, there is such a bright future with this group. At least it wasn't evident after year 1. These guys can still do some things. So we'll see if this draft class coming up kind of gives you that level of hope.
Oh, now hold on a second here. And here's where you live and die with this plan. Because if you're going to make an impact and make a noise in years 2 and 3 of free agency, okay, Malik Willis must be a hit. Because if Malik Willis is not a hit and has a terrible year, or has a mediocre year, or looks just like a guy, doesn't look like that, then in years 2 and 3, you're still trying to find a quarterback. And there is no impact. There is no turning it around, because you can't turn it around without the quarterback, overall. So really, the linchpin to this entire plan is Malik Willis.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And then there's also a scenario where you can't tell because maybe Malik Willis doesn't have enough around him.
Oh, God.
And then you're in like this circle of, well, we really can't judge him because we didn't give him the option. So now we have to go surround him with a free agent wide receiver, another tight end, and everything else. And then you're kind of in this in between of, so that you can evaluate him appropriately. So that's a potential scenario where it goes down as well. Where
first year of Tannehill and first year of Tua, you can't judge those guys. It's unfair what you put them through. Like, you put them through hell. Like, you set them up to fail, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of stuff that can't happen. And by the way, I still think Tua won more than he lost in his first year, even with all the crap he had around him. You know what I'm saying? And still, but it still wasn't right what you did. And so that's why I'm saying the linchpin is all of Malik Willis, dude. Because your plan goes to shit in the water year 2, because you're going back to the drawing board and you got to go find yourself a rookie QB. And there's no rookie QB that's going to just lift your entire franchise. Your franchise has to be there, and then the rookie QB can do a Ben Roethlisberger or a Tom Brady and complement your team that's complete. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case here. So it's kind of, it's interesting the way he phrased it in that interview. And if you look at it all, it lands all on Malik Willis.
Yeah. And you know what? I'd trust Sully as well, from all those years in Green Bay, where if he doesn't have one of the top draft picks, to still find who the right guy is wherever he's picking. If it's because Patrick Mahomes wasn't a number 1 pick, Josh Allen wasn't, Lamar Jackson was at the end of the first round.
Is that his? Are those his decisions? We don't know anything.
Aaron Rodgers was.
I find it humorous I find it humorous how you already trust him. There's nothing to trust yet. He hasn't shown a damn thing.
We need the sample size of him doing it, But that would be any first year GM. At least I like the background that he comes from in order to believe he could make those decisions correctly. That's all.
Jimmy Johnson had a great background. Couldn't find a quarterback if his life depended on it here in Miami. You know, in fact, he didn't want Aikman.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He didn't want Aikman. Okay, he had to be convinced into taking Aikman. He was so against Aikman that he took Steve Walsh in the supplemental draft the same offseason.
His UM ties,
dude, it's the whole same shit. What's it called? The Shanahan didn't believe in RG3. He drafted Kirk Cousins. The owner made him take RG3. And then he said, oh, okay, well, F you, I'm going to take my guy. And he took his guy in the 4th round. Exactly what Jimmy did. And then once Jimmy saw that Aikman was the guy, because Aikman had the bad experiences in college and saw him break his ankle in Oklahoma and all that crap, and then he didn't, you know, if it wasn't for, what's the old man's name, bro, that he just passed away? Gil Brandt. Gil Brandt was one of the holdovers when Jimmy got there. He kept certain people in the organization. Gil Brandt was one of them. And Gil Brandt was the guy who was standing on the table. You got to draft him. You got to draft him. And then a whole bunch of scouts back to Gil Brandt and forced Jimmy to take Troy Aikman.
Interesting. Now, all those situations too, a common denominator, and I'll also throw in when the Seahawks took a chance on Matt Flynn, but then they also had Russell Wilson, is that they took multiple shots at quarterback. So
yeah, but they had no one. They had no one, and the gamble on Wilson was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
They kept Jackson, Tyson Jackson or whatever from Alabama State. They traded for Charlie Whitehurst, a 4th round pick, so they can bring him in as a backup. I actually know Whitehurst's dad, really cool dude. So they went a fishnet approach, and they had nothing. So they brought in Matt Flynn thinking he would be the guy, and then it ended up Russell Wilson by almost like by mistake, you know, in a way, because they really thought it was going to be Matt Flynn, you know, that was going to be the guy. And then they just took a stab in the 3rd round because the entire league passed over Russell Wilson nearly 3 times. You know what I mean? I that year, I only had one scout. His name is Tony Softly, and I can say his name now because he's no longer with the Rams or the Carolina Panthers in those days. And I think he was with Carolina at that time. He's the one that discovered Steve Smith Sr., by the way, Tony Softly. So Softly goes to me, there aren't 32 better than Russell Wilson. You can win with that guy. I would draft him. He's the only scout that told me I would draft Russell Wilson in the 1st round.
Very good.
Yeah. So Seattle was taking a chance that year.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins took a chance with 4 3rd-round picks. One of those goes to one of those mid-round quarterbacks.
Is it worth it, doggy? Is somebody that worth it?
But that's also the Packers have historically thought like that, to go and take another quarterback. You know, it's one of your 4.
I'll give you another one. Aaron Rodgers, when they took him and everybody passed him up and he got to the 25th, 26th pick in the 1st round.
Yeah.
You know who's the only guy that told me he loved Aaron Rodgers and take him top 10?
Same guy?
David Canner.
Oh.
So we're at the Orange Bowl, and there's a all-star competition type of thing postseason, and all kinds of Greg Olsen is there for the Canes, and so is Aaron Rodgers. They had it for a couple of years, and they would go out there, and it was like a competition, throwing, running, catching, all kinds of crap. And at the same time, they were showing off their talents, right? They used to hold it at the Orange Bowl. I mean, you know, so think about it. It was a while back. And so he was there, and I was there, and Canner, as he's walking out, he goes to me, that effing guy is going to be a star. I wish I was his agent. I would take him in the top 10 picks in the first round.
He talks,
yeah. You know David Canner well.
Yeah.
And if David Canner ever tells you and you think he's bullshitting you, he's not bullshitting you.
Right.
He told me before that kid got drafted, he goes, I'll take Aaron Rodgers every day of the week and twice on Sundays. He fell in love with him that day at that place. I don't know what the hell he saw exactly, but he fell in love with him. And I was like, all right, All right. And at that time, Tedford was the QB guru of Cal, but all his quarterbacks would fail in the NFL. They would shine in college, but they would fail in the NFL until Aaron Rodgers.
All it takes is that one. Yeah, I think I've seen like an old clip of maybe an interview from him that day because that all sounds familiar. Like him at the Orange Bowl for some event. Yeah, I feel like I've seen like an old clip of him.
I was there. If you in the open of my show, we have like all these old pictures. There's one of me, a young me, there with Olsen, and he was
so younger. You're still young now.
At heart, maybe. Not the rest of my body, but I was with Olsen there. That one I think somebody took a picture and that one kind of lasted from there. And obviously it was a UMer, so that's why that was the angle there. Why take an Aaron Rodgers one when nobody cared at that moment, anyways? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I wouldn't go with the whole track record thing. That he came from somewhere. I need you to prove it to me, bro. Before I say I trust you, you need to earn that trust. And Sully hasn't earned that trust. I love the Waddle trade. That one I do like. Yeah. That one I do like. Yeah. I want to do it.
Yeah. So now's the time to start earning that trust. We'll start to really have a true sample size. We'll see this draft class come together, see how those guys play in year one, and now we'll start to really have something to pick apart pretty soon here.
What are you working on the Sun Sentinel, sir?
Yeah, reacting to everything from today's press conference. So I got an Achan story up on him not being here for day one of offseason workouts. And then I'll write something else on just the overall Halfley culture that he's setting up and how he's running things starting off. And then also we're doing our whole countdown to the draft. Or that's not the official name, but we do like these positional breakdowns. Perk looks at the draft class at every position, and I run people through a breakdown of the Dolphins' current situation at different positions. So we've already put out quarterbacks, running backs, and that was today's those running backs, and we'll have O-line coming up tomorrow.
So did you do the responsible thing and call Achan's agent? Leave a message. Did you get no comment? What's the deal, bro? We're not going to wait till tomorrow in the paper so you can put left no comment. Come on, what's the deal? What's the scoop?
Oh yeah, well, as soon as I get off with you, then
I've
been busy here today. I did this.
You know he did it already. The bastard did it already. He's just saving it because that's the only thing he can add to the.
No, I mean a quick version of the story is already up. It's just the news, and then but I'll be updating it now as soon as I get off. So
you do have to call him, right? Version. I mean, you have to call him. You have no choice. Yo, what's up, dog? Right? Is that how you do it?
Devon Achan's agent is a woman, actually. So, So, I don't know if I'd call her dog, but
who is it?
But Leah Knight.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I don't know her, but I know of her, but I don't know her. I know a couple of female agents. She's not one of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's also Patrick Paul's agent. So, yeah, got two of the biggest Dolphins.
All right. Well, then you got to call. And you got to call and find out what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? You got to get the quote in there. Or we left a message and no comments, right? That's probably what we're going to get. What do you think? Is she good at returning messages?
Yeah, for the most part. But as far as I don't think
this is your chance here to ruin the relationship. Go ahead, trash her.
I don't think she'd give me an on the record like statement or comment to be quoted. But yeah.
All right. Good stuff as always. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, we will catch up on Friday, my man.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. Welton Rail. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. I tell you over and over and over again, the worst thing that you and I do is call the insurance company when something happens to us. Oh, God, they can't wait to call it. They can't wait for us to call and take advantage of us because you and I don't know the loopholes. You know, we got to be honest with ourselves. When we don't know something, we got to defer to the experts. And Welton Realm are the experts. And then when they call the insurance company, buddy, they get the attention of the insurance company right away. They're like, oh, God, these people aren't screwing around. You mean Mr. John or Mr. Juan didn't call? Damn. I love when those chumps call. We can take advantage. But no, Welton Rayon, oh, damn, I got bulldogs. That's what you want. They know all the laws and loopholes. You and I don't. So they will not be able to take advantage of you. Call them 954-966-4646. It's the bookend tackles Miami Dolphin quarterbacks have never had. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayon, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayon can help.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, proud sponsors of our program. We love Alan, all the great people out there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Go see my guy, Eric Stampone. And don't forget, you mention our name, you will get $500 off. All right. So if you're buying or leasing a vehicle, the 2026 Forester base right now, $239 a month for 36 months. Take advantage, 0.9% financing. The Subaru Ascent 2026 model, the premium, $269 a month, 1.9% financing. It is the spring savings event going on at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. The Outback Premium, $289 a month, 3.9% financing. The inventory is amazing. You can get a large selection of Crosstreks out there. We've got the Subaru Crosstrek Base 2026 model, $158 a month. That's ridiculous. 1.9% financing. It's a great vehicle for a startup, for somebody young that needs a new vehicle, first vehicle, Crosstrek Base. Plus, it's super reliable. And when it comes to, customer, rankings, always number one, Subaru. Take advantage. The Impreza, $180 a month, 2.9% financing. Take advantage, folks. Get on down there, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Tell them that Big O sent you and get your $500 off at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right. Thank you all out there. As always, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, Sully better add a couple of bulldozers on the O-line in the draft, including a big tight end H-back. Need to protect Willis, open holes, and big receivers in flats and seam. Why don't you become the damn GM? It's exactly what they need. I hope they do that. I mean, if we're going to bring a young quarterback along, dude, please protect his ass. So I am 100% with you there, dude. 100% with you. Yep. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you as always, Stephen Baker. Thank you. You can send in your questions, comments, insults there on Cash App or Venmo. And by the way, Bitcoin's at 68,448. The market, it is down 357 points. S&P's down 44, and the NASDAQ is down 1.5. Considering what's going on, not a bad day in the market. Pretty damn good day in the market. As Dolphin fans, we love our team, and you want to follow it, and you want to follow everything that's going on. The problem is we have 24-hour news cycles, and you got to decipher what's real and what's absolute bullcrap. And listen, let me tell you, as somebody that's been following this and doing this job for 36 years and gone to well over 20 years of the combine and all that good stuff and followed the draft as heavy as anybody ever has. Okay? Don't follow it nearly as much as anymore because the Dolphins have done that to me already. But I'll tell you one thing that I never really gave a shit about. Visits. And if you're tracking who's visiting and who hasn't and all that, I mean, you're really into mental masturbation. I understand the reporters doing it. They got to fill space with some BS. But in my history, that has nothing to do with it. Will you draft one or two of those guys? Yeah. You sometimes not draft any of those guys? Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You know, at one point or another, you're going to interview them when they were at the East West Shrine game or at the Senior Bowl or at the Combine or they came in for a visit. Who cares, dude? It's all smoke screens and BS and so to me, I find it funny. So I warn you ahead of time, don't bother with that stuff. It just doesn't mean anything. I get it if you're bored and you don't really have a life, you can follow the 30 visits. I mean, go ahead. They're bringing in defensive tackles, but wait a minute, they have 3. Well, what do you expect? 2 of them are late round picks anyways. One of them's a high pick, and you have Sealer. So bring in, big deal. It all could be a smokescreen. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's funny how you follow all the silly little minutia, and most of it is just BS and a waste of your time. Really, it's a waste of your time. Wait till the tangible stuff actually happens, that they signed Malik Willis, that they traded Waddle. Wait till they actually sign somebody in free agency. And wait till the draft comes around, and then we'll find out who they're going to draft. Because none of us really know their habits. And if we did, we wouldn't have been able to predict that Malik Willis would be a guy playing behind an unproven team, which is not the Green Bay way. Or that they're going to make, noise in free agency in 27 and 28. Not the Green Bay way. But all of a sudden, it's the Sully way. And that's what we have to learn. We don't know what the Sully way is. And all everybody's doing now is just throwing darts, guessing, silliness. But they have to do that. They have nothing else to talk about because there is nothing else to talk about. You've got to fill the void with some noise, whatever white noise you can find. And that's exactly what they're filling the spaces with, a bunch of white noise that makes absolutely no sense. Anyway. What else do we have going on? Oh, you know what? I did not do. I'm watching a new TV show. Thanks to my guy, Ocala Joe, if he's out there somewhere listening. Turned me on to a show called Shrinking. Have you seen it? Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother is in it. Harrison Ford is in it, obviously. Not obviously, but I mean, Harrison Ford's in it. And he's good, too, by the way, in it. Krista Miller from Cougar Town is in it. She's good in this. Jessica Williams, she plays a really cool character. Wendy Malick from Just Shoot Me is in it. Brett Goldenstein from Ted Lasso, the crazy soccer player. Do you watch Ted Lasso? The intense mad soccer player? He's in it also. Heidi Gardner from SNL is in it. I'm in the second season now. I think it's into season 3 now or something like that. It's a good show, man. Good show, funny, well written. So good stuff. Good stuff. By the way, Offset, you saw that? So him and, was it Quavos, the other idiot? Those two idiots got the other one of the Migos shot dead in some stupid dice game outside some bowling alley or some crap. And now they were involved in another shooting. And so this moron, Offset, got shot. And apparently rapper Lil Tay was arrested for the shooting. I don't know, whatever. All I know is you can't really fix stupid. That's all I can say. Can't fix stupid. Figure you might have learned about, gun violence when one of your friends dies, and But yeah, you don't learn. Morons. Absolute morons. Anyway, let me go to let's go to musicians born on this date, April 7th. All right. Bruce Gary, drummer for the Knack, born in 1952, a little My Sharona. What else? John Oates from Hall & Oates, born on this date in 1949. Ron Kersey, known as Ron Have Mercy Kersey. He's an American keyboardist, songwriter, producer, and arranger, and known for writing the music to the 70s hit Disco Inferno by the Tramps. How about that? Ron Kersey. How about that? Have mercy, Ron Kersey. Carol Douglas. Nice. From the Chantels. Let's see who else. Patricia Bennett from the Chiffons, born in 47. Florin Schneider, one of the founding members of Kraftwerk, one of the most influential bands in the history of music. Easily top 5, top 10 Kraftwerk, most influential bands in the history of music. And that's actually not really up for discussion. If you don't agree, you don't know shit. Just let me put it that way. Let's see. What else? Spencer Dryden, known as the drummer for Jefferson Airplane, the Peanut Butter Conspiracy, and New Riders of the Purple Sage, born in 1938. Charlie Thomas with the vocal group The Drifters, born in 1937, and the great Billie Holiday. Eleanor Harris, the jazz musician, singer, songwriter, born in 1915. Now we move on to famous people born on this day. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away, unfortunately. We start off with College Football Hall of Fame member Walter Camp, kind of important in football, born in 1859. Industrialist W.K. Kellogg, born in 1860. Environmentalist Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, born in 1890. Actor James Gardner, born in 1928. Filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola, born in 1939. He is 87 today. Bless him. TV personality David Frost, born in 1939. Martial arts expert Jackie Chan, born in 1954. He is 72 today. Tony Dorsett, baby. Hall of Fame member, born in 1954. He's 72. Russell Crowe, the actor, born in 1964. He's 62. Actor, comedian Bill Bellamy, born in 1965. He's 61. Baseball Hall of Fame member Adrian Beltre, born in 1979. He's 47. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, I do. Yeah, we go. Abaddon turns 34. Darren Drozdoff was born on this date in 1969. Toro Blanco turns 58. Rosie was born on this date in 1970. Virgil was born on this date in 1951. And Sonjay Dutt turns 44 on April 7th, 2026.
All right. By the way, I saw something really cool. It's called the Things Can Only Get Better Tour. And Howard Jones is headlining. Now, I say this because this is actually a really cool tour. Howard Jones, Wang Chung, The English Beat, and I'll stop the world and melt with you. Modern English. Now, here's the catch. Every one of the bands is doing a full set. So Modern English, English Beat, and Wang Chung will do full sets, not just Howard Jones. That is very, very cool. Sadly, no Florida date, but there are California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Iowa, Texas, Michigan, Indiana. If I go, it would be the Indianapolis one, August 7th. Ohio, New Jersey, DC, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, and Ontario, Toronto. So Canada, you get one there. That is a really cool tour. The things can only get. Why don't more people do this? And they're all going to do featuring full performances. So full sets by each. That's awesome. That's all. And by the way, they all sound good. I've seen all of them live. All the lead singers sound excellent. Okay. Howard Jones sounds impeccable. Modern English, they do an excellent job, dude. Wang Chung is fantastic live. Fantastic. Okay. And English Beat, well, Wakeling still sounds great. Okay. Obviously, you don't get Roger, but rest in peace, unfortunately. But you still get Wakeling, and that's pretty good. So check it out. I think the tickets go on sale tomorrow. Okay. But that is a really cool event. If you're an 80s buff and you like the new wave music from that time, like I do, love it. That's a good one right there. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in Musica history? Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Here we go. Let's start off with, in 70 on this day, B.J. Thomas won the Academy Award for Best Original Song for Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head from the 69 film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The song was written by Hal David and Burt Bacharach, and it hit number one on the U.S. charts. In 73, Diana Ross started a 2-week run at number one on the U.S. album charts with Lady Sings the Blues. In 81, Rick James, Bitch, released his 5th studio album, Street Songs, and it features the singles, Give It To Me, Give It To Me, Give Me That Stuff, That Sweet, Funky Stuff, Yo-ho, Super Freak, and Ghetto Life. Let's see what else. In 87 on this day, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the French Prince released their debut studio album, Rock the House, and it features the singles, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, The Magnificent Jazzy Jeff, and A Touch of Jazz. In 2008, Bob Dylan got an honorary Pulitzer Prize for his profound impact on the popular music and American culture. He was the first rock musician to win the award. Thank you. Appreciate this award. And keep rocking and sending out the message. Let's see what else. In 2015, Matt and Kim released their 5th studio album, New Glow. It features Get It. In 2016, Jimmy Van Zandt died in a hospice in Florida after several years of treatment for liver cancer. He began playing guitar and piano as a child, mentored by his cousin Ronnie Van Zandt, but largely gave up on music until the 77 plane crash in which Ronnie, the founder and lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, was killed. Jimmy then took up a career playing Southern rock music. Let's see. In 2017, the Cold War Kids released their 6th studio album, L.A. Divine. It features the singles Love is Mystical, Can We Hang On, and So Tied Up. Young the Giant is coming to town. Cold War Kids will be one of the opening acts. See if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. Country singer Cal Smith, best known for his 74 hit Country Bumpkin, was born this date in 32. And it looks like that is it. That is it for music history. That's what happened today in Musica history. By the way, our friends at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, proud sponsors of our program. And they've got the Spring into Performance sales event going on right now. The 2026 Integra, $249 a month. That's a joke. 2.9% financing for 60 months. Number one volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. The 2026 ADX, $319 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. How about the 2026 MDX, the best SUV on the planet, man? It's so good. $499 a month is a joke for a 2026. They've got 3.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise they will take care of you. Their selection is awesome. Their cars are usually overflowing all over the lot. They got a great selection of new cars. They've also got a strong selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. So check it out at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Big O, are you a Messi fan or a Ronaldo? No, Messi, more than Ronaldo, if I had to pick one of the two. And not because he's here. Would have been a Messi guy over him anyways. Certainly don't like how they handle things here as players because they don't connect with the fans at all. Orlando, HN is generational talent. You got to re-sign him no matter what. Can't let that guy go. Well, if the deal is good, you do. Oh, I heard that the strip clubs in Green Bay are utterly and fantastically cheesy. I see what you did there. I sees what you did there. I have a feeling Ollie Gordon's going to be our running back of the future. That guy is a unit, and if used the right way, he can do some things for our Finns. Let's hope so. I would like for stuff from within to help the team and improve. That would be good. Less things you need. Lenny Pena says, question for, I'm sorry, which wide receiver does he like coming out this year? We'll ask him on Friday. Remind me, we'll ask him on Friday, bro. It's not, that question can last. That one doesn't have a time life yet right now. It's not old enough to take off the shelf. So we can ask that one on Friday. We'll get it in there for you. Okay. And we'll ask him for 11 and 30 and one of the second rounders. Okay. In fact, I'll prep him for it. I'll send it to him and say, yo, on Friday, I'm going to ask you what receiver you like at 11, at 30, or one of the second rounders. See what he says. Okay. What else, Big O? I've been watching that show for 3 seasons. It's pretty good. It is. I didn't know anything about it until Calajo told me about it. And it's good, man. It's good. It's funny. It's got good characters in it, you know. What's it called? Nice going to Cali. My brother lives over there. What a great tour. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm jealous. If you get to enjoy that, jealous. I'd like to go to that concert because all 4 are doing full sets. I want to go to Indy. If I go to Indy. And by the way, in Indy, the great Will Carroll, love Will Carroll. Those of you that know the injury expert, if you followed the show for years, I used to have Will Carroll on all the time. Apparently, because it doesn't say the venue, it's at White River. It's a smaller amphitheater across from Victory. So that's where it's at. So good. It's a small amphitheater. I always get to the point in the show where my ass hurts from sitting down a little too long on that chair. So the high chair is not made for sitting down for a couple of hours. Yeah. By the way, Billy Idol also added dates. The part that sucks for me is nothing here in Florida, dude. I hope he adds more dates to Florida when it's all said and done. Let's see. I don't have it here, unfortunately. But nothing in Florida. I'm hoping there is. So look for it also. His new album is terrific. if you go check out the new album, the first 6 songs are super cool. And John Wayne, that's a great song, dude. That's a great song. He did a really nice job in that album. First 6 I love. By the way, Easter Lily, I think it's called, right? From U2. Is that what it's called? Man, Easter Lily and Days of Ash, the 2 EPs that U2 has taken out in the last month. Ridiculous. Just some great music on there, great songs. And I can't wait. And they're still working on a new album. So when I do see him the next time live, which I'll see him, and I'm going to see him a few times. I'm going to definitely go to Ireland. I'm going to see him in Dublin. And then I'll see them here in U.S. somewhere. But I'll see them a couple times because that's what I've done now for many, many tours now, that I see them several times in every tour now. I think the only time twice I saw them once was War and Unforgettable Fire. Starting with the Joshua Tree, I've gone to multiple concerts of every tour, pretty much, for U2. So I'm sure I'll do multiple concerts out in Europe to the Irish, maybe English leg of the tour or something, and then obviously come back to the States and enjoy it. But that is so cool because they're going to have a brand new album and they're going to have 2 EPs. So there's a lot of new music that they can add to it. I know it sucks for some of you out there, for people like me and Pat in Asheville, who have seen like every tour and, see it multiple times. We've heard every song, even the classics, a whole bunch. So whenever I get to hear like a song I haven't heard live, that is bucket list for me when I do that with U2. Because I know Sunday Bloody Sunday, dude. I know they're going to play it on New Year's Day and, whatever. And they're going to play all those and pride, in the name of love and all that. I understand that they've got to play those, you know what I mean? But to me, it's, if you want to play a lost, lost classic instead of that, I don't complain at all. It's a blessing the way I look at it. But those 2 EPs are absolutely out of control, man. Out of control. Oh, let's see. What else do we have? I hope this coaching staff puts Jonas Savanaya right guard. I don't know. We'll see what happens, my brother. That's the stuff that none of us can really predict. We're all here on a wait and see approach to kind of, learn what their tactics are going to be. As we've pointed out, there's a Green Bay way and now there's a Sullivan way. And it's, a little different than the Green Bay way. Oh. What else? Billy actually sounds good voice. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. No, and he still sounds good live. Is he going to screech to the point that he used to? No, but he's in his 70s. I don't expect, although, Jesus Christ, John Waite is 75 and sings exactly like he did when he was 30. Any note that he carried at 30, he carries now at 75, John Waite. If you ever see John Waite in town and you like, his music and the Babies and Bad English, because he does the songs from all of those different bands and solo, I'm telling you, don't miss John Waite. John Waite can sing his ass off at 75. When they can't sing, I'll tell you. You know that. I've gone to enough concerts that when I know they can't sing, I'll tell you ahead of time so you can save your money. You know what I mean? Or time. Whichever one you want to. Or both. Anyway, we're out of here. We appreciate it. We thank. We'll talk to Steve on Friday. He is at home actually today. But we thank everybody, Michael Golden out here making it nice and easy for us to broadcast as always. We thank the great David Furones. We thank the amazing Sean Stanley. We thank all of you out there for tuning in, hitting the like button, sending in a donation, super chat, whatever it is you do. Visit our amazing sponsors, which is very important. We shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.